Bam, we're live. Oh, now I can hear you. Oh, it's because my headphones were on. You're running the show from a coffee shop?
Yep.
God, you're badass.
There's a lot of them
This.
around here.
Say that again.
I said there's a lot of them around here.
Where are you?
Knoxville still.
Are you working the Mac next week too?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Um, I don't know how we're gonna do that. I got so much crazy stuff going on. Greg's coming into town. He's giving some lectures. I was looking at the schedule. You guys might have to do it without me. Don't be
Not really a
scared.
Sevon podcast without
No,
Sevon.
no, it wouldn't be. Ricky, what's up? Good morning, dude.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Are you in LA?
Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, okay, so you're West Coast too. It's early as shit for you too.
Yep.
I'm always surprised when people on the West Coast take the podcast at 7 a.m.
Yeah, no, I'm usually up just drinking coffee and stretching anyway, so I was like, why not jump on, get a conversation going?
Oh, you the man. You the man. I didn't even, when I scheduled this, I didn't even know you were fighting Jack.
Yeah, I think it kind of all came together quickly the last couple of weeks, so I
It's
think right around the time we were scheduling.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
Crazy,
gonna be a good
crazy,
one.
crazy. Yeah. Holy shit. I hope people realize what an amazing fight that's going to be. I mean, you guys, that's two savages colliding.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of I feel like we're very similar in the grappling at least and the wall wrestling. And he's 16-0, so it'd be nice to put a one on his record for sure.
Yeah. Hey, are you born in Oregon?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I was born in Pendleton, Oregon. I've lived in Vancouver, Washington, like my entire life. So
And where is
pretty close.
Pendleton or Pendleton with a D?
Pendleton.
Pendleton.
Yeah, there's a D in there.
Where is that?
Yeah.
Is it north? Is it you're in the south? You're in the south of
Yeah,
Oregon now, but no. Uh,
yeah,
wait, sorry, I'm all confused. You're in Washington. You're in Vancouver, Washington, which is just north of Portland.
yes, just very close. I train in Portland, so it's like 20 minutes to the gym. So I'm
Yeah.
just right on the border. And then Pendleton would be another, you know, 4 hours probably east.
Um, in a normal town, you could probably like beat up everybody, but in Portland, you could beat up any five guys at the same time.
Man,
What
I
when
go to the
I
gym in Portland. That's about it.
when I think of Portland, I spent a bunch of time there in the last few years, and I watched one of the greatest towns in the world just completely take a fucking shit nose dive. What a tragedy! What
Yeah,
happened there between the politics and the drug use? But man, it was like a place of such creativity, and there were so many, like it was where the cool hipsters were. And then over the last couple of years, it just fucking went completely woke and drug addicts. And the dudes aren't even dudes there anymore. It's
yeah.
bizarre. I don't know if you see that, but it's
Oh no, it's
crazy.
everywhere, man. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, especially the homeless setting up tents and just taking over like plots of land, and the police not being able to do stuff about that. So it's been getting worse. And yeah, I train in Portland, but that's about the only reason I go to Portland.
Do they in the gym there? You train at America Top Team there?
Yep, under Fabiano Schurner.
Oh, and you just got your black belt in December from him. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I got a picture of that. Do you see that, Caleb? If not, I can pull it up too. Yeah, that's awesome. How long were you working to get that?
Must have been like a little over 11 years. So it's been. I never even really thought thought about they say not to think about the belts or whatever, and I wasn't. I was just doing MMA and doing jiu-jitsu. I love it, but then the belting ceremonies would come up every year or so or whatever. And I don't know. You see people getting their black belt, and you're like, damn, that'd be a crazy moment after all this work, and it kind of was. It was great to get my black belt from Coach Fabiano. We're super close, and it was a good moment for sure.
Let's see. I got it here. And do you even know?
No, I didn't know. I had like one more degree to go on my brown belt, So I thought I was just gonna get that, and then maybe in a year or so get the black belt. So I was a little surprised.
And do you talk to him afterwards? Oh shit, I'm all over the place. Do you talk to him
Nice, my
afterwards?
OnlyFans. Yeah, of course.
And what does he say anything to you? Words of encouragement, tell you how great you are? How does that play out?
um, I think specifically that night. I mean, it was just congratulations and stuff like that, and um, you know, you got to come in here and wear the gi more often too. So
Oh,
those are the conversations.
because you're just almost strictly no gi.
Well, for especially training for fights and stuff, when you got 3 workouts a day, it's just hard to add in gi a couple times a week or whatever. But it's definitely beneficial. It's always it's part of it. It's fun.
Uh, why even wear gi? Yeah, I've only been following this. I've been following UFC, just dedicating every Saturday to it for fucking 7 years, right? And then about 3 or 4 years ago, my boys got into jiu-jitsu. I have 2 5-year-olds and a 7-year-old, and then I started getting into like all the Nicky Rodriguez and his brother and Gordon Wright, and sort of like watching all that stuff on Flow.
Mm.
And it just seems like everything is going more and more towards no gi.
Yeah, it does. It does. It seems to be more popular for sure,
And
and
isn't it more
I enjoy it
functional?
more. Yeah, I think so. They like to say like you're not always just gonna be wearing like the minimum clothes. Like if you're gonna get like in a street fight or something, they're gonna be wearing sweatshirts and jackets and stuff like that. So you're gonna have more to grab on to. But I mean, I definitely prefer it, especially for what we're doing.
Yeah, there's no sweatshirts or jackets in at your day job.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
never.
just booty shorts.
Yeah, fighting in our underwear. That's about it.
This is my work outfit, Mom. Can you wash this? Just a fucking bikini. You're and he says, so why would a 19-3 who has 22 professional fights go to a belt ceremony? Aren't you too big time for that? Shouldn't you? They've called your name, Ricky Simone, your black belt, and you're signing an autograph somewhere.
Not quite like that. Not in my gym, at least. I don't know. You don't get that kind of pull, but I mean, it's good. I mean, we're definitely like a family over there. So I mean, I want to be there. Definitely not too big time for something like that. I want to see the guys, get rewarded for their hard work.
Yeah, that's cool shit. So you're born in Pendleton, and you tell me about that. You're born with mom and dad at home. How many siblings? All that stuff.
Yeah. Well, just we weren't living in Pendleton at the time. It was just I think the closest hospital. We were living in Milton Freewater, Oregon, just a small town, probably like 30 minutes out from Pendleton. Grew up with 3 other brothers. Yeah, I mean, we all wrestled, beat each other up every day. We're all pretty like close in age as well. So I had plenty of wrestling partners and sparring partners growing up. I kind of felt like, yeah, those are those ugly guys right there.
Which one are
Uh,
you?
I am, I am on the left
With the black
from the
shirt?
screen. Yeah, yeah, with that nice button up.
Are you the oldest?
I am the second oldest.
Which dude's the oldest? The dude next to you, just in the like with the 49er jersey or something?
No, in the middle, the top middle. It was him, and then me, and then the far right in the jersey, and the bottom one.
And
So
what is that age spread right there?
seems like every 2 years or so. It goes my
Wow.
brother, me, yeah, about every 2 years.
Same mom and dad?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. And are your parents still together?
No, they're not. They separated when I was in high school, and my mom had 2 more kids, another boy, and then she got a girl the very last attempt.
So there's 6 of you all together.
Yep.
Holy cow. And are you close to are you four pretty close?
Yeah, I would say so. Pretty close. Always hanging out. Usually our still get some training in together as well.
All 4 of you dudes fucking scrap?
Yeah, they don't really compete. The youngest one will compete in jiu-jitsu, but we just mostly just train, and we got like a gym in in my older brother's garage, and on Sundays, we'll go out and get some training sessions in, work out some positions that maybe someone was running into during the week. I have another cousin who's a professional fighter as well, so he comes over and we all just kind of work.
No shit. So so before a fight, you could go over there, you could call the boys over, go over and be like, hey, like I heard that, I don't know how true this is, but it seems like it's the truth. I heard Volkanovski went over to B team and they were just fucking sinking in, guillotines as deep as they could go, taking turns on him and then starting the match there so that he could deal with Brian Ortega. So you could do that with you got 5 guys. So you could just call up, meet me at the fucking garage, put me in this position and I'm going to work out of it. And their game.
Oh yeah. They're always game. Yeah. That's why, I mean, during like the early stages of the pandemic, I would jog over to my brother's house a few miles and they'd be ready. And I'd like have them, wrestle me in certain positions or even like spar me like for fun for me, but so yeah, I mean, always good work with those guys.
You don't have any kids yet, huh?
No kids for me, not yet.
Well, you have no fucking. I have 3 boys. You have no fucking idea how amazing your mom is. You have no, dude. You guys must have wrecked shop in the house.
I think about that all the time. Yeah, we were crazy, breaking everything, putting holes in everything. Yeah. I definitely I've gotten older, I feel bad for my parents what we put them through for sure.
Yeah, you ate everything. You guys wrecked shop. You guys. I mean, if my kids aren't outside, something bad's happening. If they're inside, like they're like taking apart like something. You know what I mean? They're outside.
Yeah.
They're trying to like see who can throw a rock at the side of the car as hard as they can. I'm like, wow, who came up with that game? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a common phrase in our household, like just go outside. Go outside.
And at a very young age, you started wrestling.
Yeah, probably sometime in elementary school, probably around when like 8 or 9 or something like that.
Whose idea was that?
I had a buddy doing it, and I loved WWF at the time, and I thought that might be some WWF wrestling. And my dad took me to the practice, and it was way harder than that, and it wasn't the same thing. But I loved it. And I was good at it right away. I was a little chubby boy, and I was still able to like double leg people and pick them up and pin them.
Here you are at 13 at 135 pounds, and now you're 16 years later. You are fighting at the very highest level that can fight on planet Earth at the same weight.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, like I said, I was a chubby boy, but yeah, it's fun. I think about that. I'm like, damn, I've been in the same weight class forever.
Did you eat like shit? Is that why you were chubby?
Growing up in a Mexican household, probably all the tortillas and everything like that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, ate like shit.
Both your mom and dad are Mexican?
Just my dad. Just my dad. My dad's from Mexico. My mom was from the Idaho area.
So you're first generation on your dad's side.
Hmm.
Did your dad grind? Did he work his ass off?
Oh yeah. I always talk about it. That's how I learned how to work hard for sure.
Oh, what do you remember about that? What did he do? What were his hours?
Oh, they were always changing. I remember that, and it could be. I remember he would switch his hours like depending on which season we were in for sports, and he wanted to make it to all our stuff, and he usually did. So he'd be working swing shift or graveyard and some crazy hours for sure.
And doing what?
He worked for well, when I was younger, he'd go to Alaska and work on the fishing boats.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then he landed a job over here in Vancouver, Washington, for like a paving company, and like asphalt and gravel, and then started becoming like a diesel mechanic, and that's kind of like what he's been doing for forever now.
Can you imagine the stress and the pressure on your dad with 4 boys and a wife at home? I mean, it's nuts.
And they were young too. They popped out 4 kids early 20s. So like I think about that all the time. I'm in my late 20s. I don't have one yet. I'm like, dang, you guys took it all on right away.
I've been thinking about this more and more. Like a lot of people say, like, "Hey, man, you can't have people running for office who are 75 years old. Like, this is just fucked up. We get there. You know, you can't be president
Yeah.
until you're 35, but there should be some rule like you can't be president if you're 80 or whatever." But another thing I think about all the time, like, if you don't have kids, like, there's a part of you that just doesn't see the world right yet. Like when like it's hard to explain. But once you have kids, there's a whole shift. I mean, he sure as fuck wasn't going to go to Alaska and fish that shit if it wasn't for you four. I mean, you know what I mean? That's like all for you guys, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, huh?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nuts. Does he trip on how far you've taken it? What's your dad say about that you're a professional athlete at this in this crazy sport?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the reason why I got into it. I mean, he would rent like Pride and the early UFCs on VHS from wherever he could get them. You know, he'd buy them, rent them, and then we would just watch them all the time. I'd watch, the tournaments and just be like hours of fights. And my older brother, and my dad loved it, and I just thought these guys were kind of a little crazy. But as I got older, I definitely like kind of, I got better at wrestling, and I loved to fight, and then started training right after high school. And my dad was always super supportive. He was like, he always thought I could like, you know, make it, and I didn't have that kind of confidence, especially when I was that young. I was like, I'm not even sure like if if I'm gonna go pro and this and that. And he was always like, you definitely should. You definitely should do this. Keep going, And he'd always be like, yeah, you're gonna make it, I think. And yeah, that was always super like nice to have like coming from my dad because you got people, especially like this is not an easy sport to come up in, telling you, hey, you should probably go back to school, or you should probably go do this instead. You should probably stop playing around with this sport. You're not going nowhere with it. I had plenty of people kind of tell me that because of where MMA was, but never from my dad.
You are a beautiful young man with a fucking insane record, and you're in the very top of the league, and it doesn't look easy. I mean, you are a very special looking character. I was digging through your Instagram. I mean, like you could fucking be in movies. I mean, you look like you fell out of some fucking Native American warrior movie in some of these pictures with your fucking mullet.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. Oh, I want to come back to that confidence. I took a note here because I want to ask you, but go ahead, pull that up, Caleb. I want to ask him about that picture right there. Do you have are you gifted genetically? Do you have abnormal wingspan? Look at how long from your shoulder to your elbow and then your elbow to your fingertips. It's like you have the torso of like a dude who's 6'3" on a dude who's
Yeah.
5'5". How tall are you?
I like probably like 5'6" on a good day. Come on,
Okay.
don't say 5'5". Give me that 1 inch. Come on,
5'6".
man.
Okay, I'm 5'5". So
Yeah.
you're 5'6". You're a
At,
giant.
at some point, I just stopped like growing this way, and I just kept growing this way.
I mean,
My
look how
shoulders kept.
broad you are. You're like a
Yeah.
flying squirrel. Do you know what your wingspan is?
Uh, 70 inches. It go back. The UFC gets me is 69 to 70 inches.
Okay,
But
so that's you. So you do have the wingspan of a guy who's 5'10".
yeah, I think it's just like the way me and all my brothers are kind of built. My dad's very like that short, and just his shoulders are super stocky.
Yeah, crazy. Caleb, can you pull up any pictures of him like just where it's just him and his mullet and he just looks fierce, like he looks like he should have a spear in his hand and on a horse? People tell you that all the time, right? That you look native.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I get that often.
yeah, you have such a great look. Hey, what's the most
With the
you've ever
mullet.
weighed in your life?
Um, I think after my first UFC fight, like a week later, I was like 178 pounds.
You never cracked 200.
No, never cracked 200. No, but definitely close, like about 180.
Do you start freaking out when you get that heavy?
Yeah, well, that was like younger in my career for sure. Like I'm good at keeping it lower for sure these days, living a healthier lifestyle, and trying not to balloon up so much. But it's not easy making 135 pounds for sure. But with the height disadvantage at in these like in the UFC, especially when all these guys are so good and know how to use that reach. That I just feel like 135 is the best weight class for me, but it's not easy to make. It's not fun to make it. But you know, we're spoiled now with the UFC. Like they give us nutritionists and send us out food, and fight week they cook all our food for us and everything. So it's been easier these days.
Could could uh could trifecta make me like I'm 5'5", 165. I work out every day. Could trifecta make me 135? I would love to fucking see what I look like that. Like this.
But I think what you could do first is when someone's thinking about going to a new weight class or something, the UFC will put you in like one of their DECA scans, or they'll weigh your like muscular skeleton and see what weight you should be fighting in, and then you'll take you know you'll have the right diet. They'll plan you up to get you down to the lowest possible weight before you do a water cut.
I can't just call trifecta or go to their website and say I want the Ricky Simone diet. I want the Ricky Simone body.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's specific for me, and I'm not sharing the secret. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, so literally the weeks leading up, I think in there you say you went from I wrote it down, like 168 to 135 in 6 weeks. Is that correct?
That that sounds like me being a fat boy. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. You go from 160. Thank you, Caleb. From 160 to 134.8 in
Mhm.
7 weeks. So you don't have to do shit. You just stay on your training regiment, and they just send you boxes of food, and that's what you eat.
Yeah, for the most part, and I like sometimes fresh food, and sometimes it can get boring eating the same meals that get sent over, dry frozen or whatever. So I'll cook or add or substitute a carb or add a protein or whatever for whatever practice I'm going to. So, but yeah, that's usually the case, and they make it way easier on us.
Yeah, that's awesome. That must take a lot of stress off. What do you think when guys don't make weight? Like, do you have compassion for it, or are you like, yeah, I can see how that happens? Or are you like, fuck you, or
It's
both?
definitely annoying. I mean, kind of both. I've never missed weight in wrestling or in my fighting career, so I definitely think there's like no excuse for it. But I mean, people are pushing the limits. They're cutting a bunch of weight. It's just weird when they miss by like several pounds. Like the 1 pound, the 1.5 pounds. I was like, yeah, I've been there where you think like I can't sweat anymore. But like when you're coming, like some of these guys come in missing 4 pounds, 5 pounds plus. Like, man, you should be heavily fined. And and like, what's the percentage of these guys that miss weight like that and win? I think it's pretty high. So it's definitely
Oh,
a
that would be an
disadvantage.
interesting stat. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it took, and this is the kind of stupid things that like took me 5 years or 7 years to learn. I'd be like, what's the big deal if he weighs a couple pounds more? But the big deal is that he didn't have to go through the struggle and do the damage to himself to lose the weight, right? It's not necessarily
Yeah.
that he's heavier, it's that he didn't put the strain on his body to lose the weight, right?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Yeah, yeah, and then they're going to be, they didn't suffer that extra. 'Cause, sometimes the extra 4 pounds, it takes people different times to get it off or whatever. So someone might have been struggling for 2 hours trying to get that last little bit off, while the other person just decided to show up on the scales overweight.
I don't think a lot of people realize. I know I didn't realize till I started talking to more and more UFC fighters that also like there becomes a point like where Oliveira was, where you're 155.5, and I can't imagine this, but I believe it that you can go in the sauna, fucking jump rope, and you still won't break a sweat. I mean, I break a sweat getting out of bed and walking over to the coffee maker, but I guess you guys get so fucking dehydrated that not a drop will come out.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've never really gotten to that point where like no sweat would come out, but it took a long time. It took a long time to start the sweat. You'll be in the sauna like or doing whatever cooking for too long trying to get that sweat going. But yeah, it's tough. It is tough, especially if you miscalculate the weight during camp, or maybe you ate too much the week before and your weight's higher, or the travel messed something up. So a lot kind of goes into it, especially fight week.
You, if you think, I don't know the exact details, but if you think about what happened to Oliveira, right? the psychological implications too. So he misses weight and he has the title stripped from him. So I think right there, maybe he like loses like 30% of his purse, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, usually it starts at 20%, and then depending on how much it can go up from there.
And then maybe he lost supposedly from just with the dumb shit that I know, only the champs get part of the pay-per-view. So then he lost that.
Oh, did he really?
I don't know. I was speculating, but then
Ooh,
for the next fight when he fights the title, he probably is not going to get. I mean, he probably lost millions of dollars because of that, or at least close,
ooh,
right?
I heard.
Man,
That's why you don't ever see me missing weight. I'm too stingy with my money.
are you good with your money?
Try to be for sure. Try to be. I just purchased a house right now,
Good
so
on you.
yeah, been dealing with that last couple of weeks and stuff like that. But it's definitely a learning curve when you're in this kind of profession for sure.
What interest rate did you get? Do you know?
Like 5.6, I believe.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's just crazy. It's just crazy how it's if just a couple of years ago or a year ago, it was like 2.8.
hmm Yeah, and kicking myself. Like, I was waiting too long. I was like, I don't know. It seems kind of like a crazy time to buy a house during this
Yeah, it is a
pandemic,
crazy time.
but you live, you learn, I guess. I was just ready to make the move, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's smart. I think it's smart. Either way, I think it's smart. It's good because that's the money that you're not going to spend that money. You know what I mean? Now I just think of mortgage payments as saving money.
I like to hear that.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Did she do all the does she do all the adult stuff? Like, do you just be like, okay, I want that house, and then she does all the paperwork and all that stuff?
Um, yeah, basically, I'd like to
Oh,
say.
good. That's how that yeah, that's so
But
good. You don't have time for that shit. Like they bring this whole stack of papers and they're like, you have to sign every sheet. I'm like, honey, can you just
mm,
talk to this dude and do all this? She's like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a lender, so we we uh we went through him, and they just made it so easy on me. And I have a sponsor, Graham Gentry, who's a real estate agent. So between those three, they just killed it, and I just got to train and help move.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that you threatened that he was threatened with a left hook or something if he didn't get the find you the
Yeah,
right house.
yeah, I was ready to hit him in the body for sure.
And you know what? That makes sense too because I'm hearing a lot of people in my area getting over 6%. So it sounds like they got you a good interest rate relative to how fucked up everything is right now.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
When did you realize? You said when you were younger you didn't have the confidence you have now. Can you tell me what the definition of confidence is and how you either cultivate it or how it grows or when I was a kid, I always heard the word focus, and it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I was like, oh shit, that's what focus means. Like people be like, focus, but I never thought what it meant. I'm guessing confidence is
Yeah.
kind of like one of those words too. Like you don't realize that you lack confidence until one day you get a little. Like you're like 17, you're like,
Mm,
fuck, oh shit, I didn't realize how insecure I was.
mm. Yeah, I mean, I would think I was always like confident in my abilities and like in my preparation, but I just never really. I kind of because there's no blueprint on how to make it to uh to the UFC at the time, especially it seemed that way. So I just didn't like think that it would, that I would be able to make it to the UFC. It seemed so prestigious at the time for sure, but I mean, I had a really good amateur career, and it was kind of a quick one, and then went pro, and I was just kind of like, building up that experience in the cage. And I think with that, and then always putting the right team around me, so I got the confidence from the experience, and then I got the confidence from the preparation, and then after that, I mean, I've won plenty of fights, and then I've lost some fights, and so I've kind of felt like I've dealt with it all, as far as winning and losing, and I've lost some big fights and I've won some big fights. So I'm just at a point in my career and in my life where I'm so confident in my abilities, and like I said, in the preparation, and I have the experience of this go around, especially on the come up in the rankings. So I don't know, I feel very comfortable and very confident lately.
I mean, even as a young man, as a 13-year-old wrestler, when you stepped up against someone, did you know you were going to win, or what was the mindset?
No, I never like knew I was gonna win, but like um, I was just I've always been kind of like stoked for competition. I was very like I was in elementary school and middle school and even high school. I lost very few years in wrestling, and it's my main sport. So, but even with especially if for like being confident, but it's almost like you the outcomes, and uh, and I'm
Oh, you're breaking up
thinking,
pretty bad. Could
I'm
you?
back.
No, I can't. I can bet you sound like you turned into a transformer. Uh-oh. Did we lose you?
That's,
Someone's on the roof fucking with the antenna.
yikes! I hear you fine.
Uh, when you go into the ring with at the UFC, um, can you have what? Can you only enter with the ideal mindset? Like if you go in there, can there be any doubt, or maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about. Maybe you always enter with all doubt, and that's what makes you fucking go nuts in there. But what's
Mm.
it like? What is that? And is it changing from second to second until you guys collide?
Oh yeah, I think for me, I don't get too nervous until like I'm right about to walk out, and there'll be like a few moments where I'm just waiting in the back, and there's a bunch of like the is it B-roll or whatever, the interviews are rolling, the highlights are rolling, and we're just bouncing in the back curtain, and I'm just like, dang, I'd like to make this walk now instead of waiting another 5 minutes, you know. But then once I start the walk out and then get in the cage, then it's like the nerves kind of subside.
And and are you like you're ready to fight? Like as you're coming out there, you're ready to just start throwing punches. It's like you're ready.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to. I don't know. I just feel focused, and I'm ready to. We have a game plan, and and I don't know. I feel like I'm in the zone, and that's how. Especially in that last fight, I felt like probably the best I have ever felt in there, as far as like you know like the training leading up to the fight, and then just how easy fight week went for me. I think I've done it enough times, especially in the UFC. Now, this next one will be my 10th UFC fight, so I think I'm just getting more comfortable with the walk.
It's a crazy card you're on too. The main event is Yair and Ortega.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy one. I mean, it's gonna be hard to beat those guys out for a fight of the night.
Um, for them, there's. I mean, I guess I talk about this with almost all the fighters I've had on. It's a trippy sport because, well, for a bunch of reasons, but every fight is a Super Bowl. There are no. It's not like the NBA or MLB where you can lose a game. You really cannot lose. There's no homeostasis. If you lose, it's a big step back. I mean, you can just look at all the fights you have. You should be a fucking a top five fighter that Murab or Gilashvili or whatever that guy's name is. You beat him and he's higher than you, but it's you're a victim of circumstance, right? And
Hmm.
and your loss is to Rob Font, who's arguably one of the best in the division easily. Um, the pressure must be enormous, right? Like you have to win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely feels that way at times. But
Yeah, you gave that guy his only loss. Holy shit! No, no, no. No. Okay, he's 7-3.
yeah,
And click his name. Where is he ranked now? Uh, Caleb Murab. Click Murab's name. Sorry, you were gonna say what, Ricky? It's definitely what.
Oh, well, I think Marab's been like on a 7 fight win streak since our fight, and I thought that was a fight that might be next before I got this Jack Shore fight. I thought they wanted to run that one back. I think he was ranked. I think he's ranked currently like maybe sixth unless something's moved around. But I don't know what ended up happening to that. I don't think he ever got offered it. And now I got this Jack Shore fight, but I mean, equally as excited. I get to, paid the same either way. So I just need to go make a statement against this 16-0 cat, and then I think I'll get the push that I deserve.
He's an English guy, right?
As a Welshman.
Welshman. Okay. Was there a certain age that you realized that you were tough? That you're like, okay, I'm okay getting hit in the face, like that you accept that?
Um, we fought all the time growing up, so I never knew that. I didn't mind getting like hit in the face, like fighting or boxing, whatever. But I realized that like later on when I started seeing some of my other friends throw on the boxing gloves and they would be scared to get hit, or they didn't want it. Then some of them, a lot of kids don't even want to fight, But I always
Right.
wanted to fight. I always wanted to hit somebody. I didn't mind getting hit.
Yeah. My sister and I wrestled a lot, but we kind of had there was an unspoken rule, no face punches. But you're right. My boys will just walk up and punch each other in the face. There's no rules.
Yeah, yeah.
Kick someone in
Making
the
it bad,
back.
huh?
Kick someone in the back. Like even if you're not mad at them, like someone's like just like in the toy room, you just walk by and just kick them in the back, and then it's just on.
Yeah, how can I push this guy's buttons?
Yeah. Are kids in in the future for you? Is it something like you're thinking about?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. My wife has a good job, and I feel like we're in a good place. I don't know. I think for the longest time we were just both very focused on our careers and wanting to travel and stuff like that. But I think that's definitely a possibility in the future.
Does she have concerns about your job, about you getting hurt? And if she,
Well,
do you
I
think
mean,
she
of
does, and she
course.
just do you think she just hides them, just pushes them down?
I don't know. I think she's been around like the entire time I've been trying this. So I think there's been waves of it, some good, like but I think luckily I've had a lot of success in the sport so far, and I've been able to avoid major injuries. The UFC takes great care of me. I've gotten some stem cells in my shoulders, and the physical therapy team at the Performance Institute is great. Heather Linden and Bobby and Tara and all of them do a great job of taking care of us. So I don't know. I think yeah, obviously she's worried about like major injuries and me getting hurt and stuff like that, but she knows that I take my recovery super seriously and that I'm in good hands. So it's a sport at the end of the day, and I love to go compete.
It takes a special mate,
Mhm.
because you have your time commitment too, right? I mean, you're putting your life on the line every time you go in there, and so your commitment to succeeding has to be before everything else. And I guess you have to have a really kind of a drama-free, understanding mate, right, to succeed in this sport.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I see it on and like a lot of other fighters, or they might get, they might match up with someone who doesn't like what they're doing or doesn't like how much they're missing, whatever quality time at home or whatever. But we got to be at practice, no matter the day, no matter the holiday or whatever, So I've missed plenty of holidays throughout the years, but it's never been. She knows why I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're stoked. You're really really stoked. Why are you staying up there? I'm assuming you bought a house near where you train. Have you thought about moving, like Florida, Southern California, somewhere warmer, Texas? Why are you staying up there? Family?
Yeah.
Did you hear me? Sorry.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, no, I
Why
can.
are
You
you
were
staying
it was
up
just
there?
breaking out a little bit.
Why haven't you moved out of there? Why are you staying up there? There's so many great places to do fighting, warmer conditions. Why are you staying? And you just bought a house there, so you're kind of like doubling down on your commitment to the area.
Yeah, yeah, I was close. I was planning on moving to Vegas, um, just to be closer to the PI. But I got all my family out here. And I got great training partners out here as well, and a great team out here. We have the American Top Team Portland. I feel like is the best team in the area, and you know, I have everything I need there, and I've done a great job at traveling and training in Orange County at Team Oyama's, and I've been doing that like every month, every other month. So I don't know. I think it just came down to I love the area. I grew up here, and just mostly family. I think we wanted to be close to family. My wife's family's here. My family's here. So I think we're just so family oriented. It was hard for us to leave, but we do plenty of traveling, and maybe another spot somewhere else in the future would be great too.
And your record is so good. It's kind of and you've been so successful. It's I was just thinking about you moving to Vegas. It would be all new training partners, whole new scene. And if something came unfucked, it could like get in your head, right? Like, oh shit, what did I do?
A little bit. I train in Vegas all the time.
Oh,
My cousin is Vince Morales. He's a UFC bantamweight. He lives out there. He trains with Syndicate. So whenever I go to Vegas, I usually just I'll stay with him at his house, and we'll get great training at the Performance Institute and at Syndicate under John Wood. They have a great program over there, so I feel comfortable going over there. That's why I felt like I almost wanted to make the move, but couldn't do it.
yeah, and you have the best of both worlds because I guess you could just go there anytime, right? What are the chances of you guys running into
That's
each
that's
other?
how I figure it.
What are the chances of you and Vince running into each other?
Uh, we always joke about that, but I don't think I would ever want that to happen. My cousin and I are super close too, but unless it was for like a belt or something, we're making some stupid money, um, then that would be
It's
quite the storyline, I think. But
yeah. So it's avoidable unless you guys have to both. There's only one seat at the top unless it gets to that.
yeah, I think so. I think there's plenty of matchups, and we're managed both under Radium Sports Agency and Jason House, so I doubt something like that would pop up.
Hey, that video of you fighting, I think it's for the LFA championships, and Herzog grabs you and you kind of like wiggle out of there. Did you and him talk about that afterwards?
Not really talk about it. I messaged him up and told him it was nothing against him. I was just, emotions were high for me, especially where I was at in my career, and yeah, just emotions were very high for me, and I didn't do anything, intentionally malicious
No,
towards him. It was just
right.
in that moment and in that level of competition and where we were at and what was on the line. I think kind of got to me a little bit, and I was feeling
It
a little
was
salty
legit.
that
Yeah,
yeah,
it was. Oh wait, why were you a little salty? Sorry, say that again.
just because I wasn't signed to the UFC yet. I thought I kept I was kind of like touted as like the top prospect unsigned at the weight class, and um, I fought in Contender Series and I didn't get I won and I didn't get signed, and then I fought Chico Camus for the belt LFA world title, and I beat him in a 5 round title, and he hadn't lost since he lost to Henry Cejudo. He was on a good win streak outside the
Wow.
UFC, and then I still didn't get signed, and so at that point, I'd been fighting for quite a while, and bills are stacking up a little bit because everything I had was going into fighting, and I'm working part time, and it was just a lot. I was like, I feel like if I put my energy in anything else like this much, I would be, you know, killing it, and I wasn't loving the journey at the time. I wasn't appreciating it at the time for sure. And I was just ready to, I felt like I could have been competing in the UFC before that and making good money. So I think that's why I was like, it's my time. I get this win. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I almost thought about calling it quits, but I didn't have it after that fight.
Really?
So
Um,
yeah,
so
I did. I did.
you didn't it's not like you pushed him. He just grabbed you from the back and you kind of just wiggled out. It was definitely nothing. It's pretty obvious that it was a heat of the moment thing. When you said to him, hey, no hard feelings, sorry, did he respond to you like, hey, it's cool, I get it?
Yeah, yeah. Herzog is a cool dude, and and I've had the chance to run into him at UFC events and in the back and stuff like that. And he's always been super cool guy. Always gives me knuckles, So
It's nice to
hopefully
see a
we're cool.
ref. It's nice to see a ref out there who doesn't look like a fat pile of shit who drinks 8 days of the week. So I got mad respect for that handsome young man.
Yeah.
Also on that same note, and you've probably talked about it ad nauseum. Michael Bisping said something about you beating a ranked opponent, and you very nicely said, it's not your first ranked opponent. And then later on, he commented on it. I thought it was cool later on that he commented upon it, but he totally misread you. Like, well, you tell me. Like, either he has brain damage or he's an egomaniac, or it was just too loud in there and he completely misunderstood you. Because I sense no dick from you. Was there any dick?
Yeah.
Were you trying to be a dick?
No, I wasn't. I definitely wasn't trying to. I just,
No,
I don't
it's
know.
fine.
I didn't mean to come off that way, but
And you did not come off that way. He either misunderstood or he's an egomaniac or brain damage. Those are the three. And I like the guy, but
yeah. And I guess like when he said I hadn't beat a ranked opponent before, I was like, I was ranked top 15 a couple years ago. I beat Ronnie Yaya. He's a legend of the sport, and he was ranked at the time on a big win streak. So in my head, I was kind of like, I want to, I want my accolades to kind of like be able to speak for themselves. But if you're like misrepresenting them, then I'm going to correct you.
it was no different than he said, well, it's not raining. Let's go outside. And you went, oh, no, it's starting to rain. It was just like that. It was that chill. You were just like, well, how dare you correct me in front? Anyway, he seems like a good dude. But for it is always fun. I think what did Barnum and Bailey say? Like any media is good media or whatever. One of those, like, fuck it. I think it was good for you that he talked some shit to you.
Yeah, and I think we tweeted at each other like later on when like some articles started coming out, and I think we're cool. We'll see next fight week, I guess.
You should tweet him. I'm gonna beat your ass when I see you. Just for a little bit more.
You try to get me in trouble. That's what you're trying to do, Seven.
Is there like a holy shit position? Holy shit! I can't believe I have this in the UFC. Like whenever I see someone get someone in a crucifix, like I always fucking get all like I'm at home and I'm just like, holy fuck! I can't believe this is happening to. No matter, even if I want the guy to lose, I'm not happy for anyone. I could hate you, and if someone has you in a crucifix, I feel horrible for you. Is that position that bad, or is there a position that you get someone in and you're like, oh, this sucks for this dude?
Yeah, I mean there's like a couple positions like the crucifix that like you don't want to be in that position, and I've even been in that position early on in my career. I put someone in that position, I'm elbowing them, and like for a split second, I'm like, man, this is this is kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's like one of those positions you get your brother, and when you're sitting on his chest and his arms are trapped, and like you're tapping on his chest, and like you're like, well, fuck, I own you. I mean, I'm just completely.
Yeah.
Do you train from that position ever? Like, hey, put me in a crucifix. Like, is that one of those ones that you have to like consciously like work on to get out of, to make sure it never happens to you?
Yeah, of course, it's something that we would train to put people in, and then also we're like, all right, if we get put in this, what are the best routes of to escape it without taking so much damage? Because it looks like, who Big Country, Roy Nelson was like so good at doing that. Like, or I seemed like back in the day, he would take guys down, crucifix them, and then he would just like pop shot them, and he would like count out loud for the ref to hear how many punches he lands, and so
No
the ref would stop
shit.
it. Yeah, he used to do that. He used to even do that in Ultimate Fighter back in the day.
No shit. Wow. Yeah. For those of you who can see, I don't actually ever remember seeing it from underneath like that. The one I always see is I think the guy's on top, but either way, it's horrible. You see, like you have both the guy's arms and you can just mash his face. Oh man. Who do you think is going to win out of Yair and Ortega? It's going to be a bad loss for one of them.
Ooh.
I think like emotionally, it's going to be really tough for one of them if whoever loses.
Yeah. That is I think it's a great fight. It's going to be exciting for sure.
For sure.
I think maybe, or I think for some reason I'm leaning towards Ortega. maybe because the grappling. I mean, Yair is great at the distance, everything, but he does later on in the rounds. He starts grappling up a little bit more. I think Ortega will have an advantage there. But I mean, it's going to be a great fight either way.
The 35 and the 45 class, they're a little scary, the guys in there, because everyone can just take such a beating. You know, like
Yeah.
Cater and Holloway and Rob Font. I mean, these are guys who, like, we've seen them beaten to a pulp and they just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Tough
Chris.
weight classes.
I think he got dropped from the UFC, but Chris Montanillo, who Sean O'Malley used his face as a punching bag for fucking 3 rounds. Do you remember that fight?
Barely, yeah.
He basically just beat his face for 3 rounds, and Chris just kept coming forward. I don't think Chris got in one punch, or maybe in the 3rd round he did.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I feel like maybe O'Malley just wasn't hitting too hard or something because that kid fought his next fight and got finished in the 1st round. So
right,
I mean,
right.
maybe it just depends on the opponent and the shots they're hitting them with.
You would like to beat him up, huh, Mr. O'Malley?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't lie. I would like to. I would like to crucify him, I think.
Okay. If when you fight him, are you going to put him in a crucifix? Is that what he gets?
I definitely feel like I could with his skinny, lanky body. It would be an easy position to get into.
He would be. I mean, he would definitely be trying to keep his distance from you the entire fight, right? If you got in the ring with him.
Oh yeah, I think so. But I mean, he's pretty good at that already. He does a good job at like managing distance and angling with most opponents he's had so far. But I don't think he's fought the same kind of competition that I've fought for sure.
And you think you could get your hands on him?
I definitely think that.
and that would be bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I mean, it's bad for anyone if you get their
tested
hands
too
on him,
much.
right?
Yeah, I mean, especially if I'm able to start like racking up the takedowns and stuff like that. But I feel like when he got tested that one time, really, I mean, his biggest test had been Cheeto Vera, and Cheeto, kicked his leg off and then elbowed him in the face. So I know, but I am excited about his next fight with Pedro. He has that's a great fight. Pedro, even though he's taken some losses lately, man, he's a hard hitter, and it's definitely a great test for O'Malley. So I like to see that he's fighting tougher competition for sure.
There was a fight against a guy named Pirello, I think, that you had. I maybe I'm confusing this, but yeah, it is against Pirello. You do a spinning back fist into a double leg.
Yeah.
Did you practice that, or is that just like fucking God working through you in the moment? You just fucking the shit's just coming together.
No, I get people like pinned up in that double leg all the time. So what I try to do is throw a spinning back elbow from that, and then the double leg after kind of I just saw it, but that's a position that I worked with Coach Oyama actually and Alex Perez. I would drill, shooting in on the doubles, spinning off, and I actually landed that elbow and must have caught it wrong because my elbow was like a balloon the next morning.
It must be kind of crazy for a guy. You throw a spinning back elbow at him. Let's say he dodges it. If he celebrates for even 1 second and admires his work even for 1 second, it's too late. He fucking then gets double legged and the party's over.
That pressure's coming.
In another fight, you did this move that I'd never seen anyone do. You know how guys will throw elbows? I don't even know how you did it. And they'll usually just throw one. You chase the guy across the ring and you throw 3 in a row, like jabs. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the same one Ayer did to Korean Zombie or something, right? Or like knocked him out with like a half a second left in the fight. You're chasing a guy across the ring like this. Do you remember that fight? What I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was a Kelleher fight. You're giving away all my secret elbow.
Okay,
techniques.
sorry.
But
I see that shit and I'm like I would never fucking think to do that. If I were a fighter, I'd fight like Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz. I'd just be slapping people. slapping you in the ear and shit.
Hey,
But it doesn't even make sense to me what you were doing, but it looked horrible for the other guy.
yeah, I've been working on that specific elbow with Coach Oyama for a while, and I have a lot of success with it. And I don't know, if loosening up in the third round felt like a good time to throw it.
Yeah, the other guy's face is great. Kelleher's face is great. Like, he doesn't even know what the fuck is happening. He's just running backwards like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, have you ever seen anyone else do that, use an elbow like a jab?
Um, that up one I was thinking, not really on the
Yeah.
left side. I see it like Anderson Silva threw it like on the right side off our right hand, and then stepped through with it against Tony Fricklin back in the day. So I feel like it's kind of similar to that, but it's the lead arm instead.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. One of the guys
Yeah,
in your early fights compares your pressure to Tony Ferguson. Your
cool.
pace.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that is cool, right?
yeah.
I mean,
Tony's the man.
Tony is
Yeah,
the man.
I never heard that one. So yeah, I'll
Uh,
take that.
yeah, he was comparing your pace to what is how good is your cardio? Have you ever got gassed in the ring?
I used to always get so mad because I like I've always been like a cardio machine, and I feel like you always get tired in there. 5 minute rounds are that's a lot to be fighting for 5 minutes. You see most street fights, those things last like 15, 30 seconds,
Right,
super
right.
quick. People get gassed out, and we got it's a long time in there. So I realize like you're gonna get tired, but the better shape you're in, you can recover faster. So we really focus on that, on the recovery time, especially that 1 minute in between, or get into positions that I feel like I can recover better in. But I've always had so much confidence in my cardio, and that's why I feel like I can like keep that kind of pressure, because I know that it's gonna wear on my opponents, you know, before or more than it's gonna wear on me.
It seems like it's the worst thing that could happen to you in a ring, besides getting knocked
Oh,
out, running out of gas, right?
being tired and getting beat up, like, and not being able to like make the right moves because your legs feel like they weigh, an extra 100 pounds, or your arms do, or you feel like you can't get out of position because you're tired. Yeah, you don't want to be that type of fighter for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember who I was interviewing, but they basically said that they were so gassed one time that they were seeing punches come in that they could have easily dodged, but they just couldn't get their body to do it. Yeah, that sounds
Hmm.
fucking horrible. It sounds like one of those dreams where you're trying to fight someone, but your punches feel like they're going through syrup. Have you
Yeah,
ever had that dream?
yeah, yeah. I have it like I can't close my fists all the way, and I'm like trying to punch them, and I'm like, oh, I'm not like getting these. I'm not like getting any power on these punches. That's how I feel in dreams sometimes.
Oh, good. I'm glad you have those fucked up dreams too. Um, finally, don't get mad at me. Another one of your insane weapons that just pops out of nowhere is the flying knee. Like, you'll just be just all of a sudden your knee's just up and it's high and it's vicious. But I haven't seen one of those really connect yet, like a Ben Askren connection.
Mhm.
Are you looking forward to that? And is
Yeah,
that
I
one of your
mean,
favorite moves? I mean, you throw them great and they come out of nowhere.
yeah, I mean, I've landed them, or just about landed a flying knee in so many different fights. And one of my coaches, my boxing coach, gives me so much shit for it. He's like, you rock somebody that you, instead of going in with some boxing, you go in to miss a flying knee. But I'm like, dang, that could have been $50,000 knee though, so I'm gonna throw it.
Yeah, and you throw it far too. You don't you don't even need to be close to you, and you'll throw it. Like you like it's always a threat. And are those trained too, or is that just your athleticism, or do you have to train the shit out of that to be that good at it?
Um, I think in the beginning it was athleticism, and then as the years gone on, and I did practice them, and it's gotten more technical as well, with the setups, and how to throw it.
When you get in the ring with someone and they first feel you, do you have any idea what they feel? Like, do you think like, are they like, oh shit, he's stronger than I thought, or he's faster than I thought, or do you have any idea like what, or this is too much pressure? Like your opponents, what is the thing that they're always probably like, oh shit?
Well, I hope they think I'm stronger than they thought, because I honestly feel like I'm one of the strongest bantamweights in the world. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what they're thinking, but I hope when I'm lifting them up in a double leg, they're thinking, "Oh shit, this guy's strong."
Yeah, it seems like you can just about pick up anyone anytime.
Yeah. That's how I feel sometimes, especially in the cage.
Like
Pick
yeah.
them up, run them over to my corner.
Yeah, and is that you do that? Yeah, I've seen you do that in fights. Why do you do that? So just is that show, or is that so that you can be close to your guys, or what's the deal with that?
I don't know, just watching like Randy Couture and like who was that? Probably Matt Hughes. I watched them both do that when I was super young. So I always loved flaring double legs, running over to my corner. And why not? Like it's so discouraging for has to be for the other guy to for me to pick him up and run him over to my coaches, and then my coaches are all like chirping at him, talking some shit, and while I'm elbowing him in the face. So I like that.
They do that in the UFC. The coaches will chirp at the other guys.
I mean, depending if you got Tyson Nam in your corner like I do sometimes, oh yeah, for sure.
Like you'll punch a dude in the face and he'll be like, "Damn, that dude got fucked up," or something like that, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, he didn't like that elbow. Give him another one. Like
right.
stuff like that. It could be something along those lines.
You fought in the UFC. You fought two fights in a month. Yeah.
Hmm.
D-
Yep,
did you
that was a fun time.
did you like that? Yeah, tell me about that. Did you like that?
Um, yeah, there was like definitely some positives to it. Like I was already in shape. I didn't have to go through a crazy grueling training camp. But on the downside of it, I just fought. My body was banged up, and then I was in Abu Dhabi, so I had to make a long flight right back home, and I fought like within like 3 weeks or so, something like that. So it was just like kind of my body was a little banged up and everything, but I mean, I just felt like I was ready to go, and didn't take much injuries from the fight before, and I thought I could make it and get the win in the next fight. I thought it was a good matchup against Brian Kelleher. So yeah, and so I got paid twice in a month's time, and so I'm glad I got to experience that, and I'd definitely be open to something like that again in the future.
And you got a house.
Hmm. Yeah, I got to stack up these UFC paychecks.
When you go into the Kelleher fight, do you have any aches and pains from the previous fight 3 weeks earlier?
Yeah, definitely did. But like I said, that fight was in the first one was in Abu Dhabi, and the second was in Vegas. So I gotta like hang out at the UFC PI for that last week and get some recovery going, and felt good once the fight approached.
Do you take it? What are the things you think about when you take the fight? Do you think, okay, this is the Burns um Usman card, and this is a good card to be on. It's extra money. I think I can beat Brian Kelleher. Like what are I don't want to say no to the UFC. What are the pieces that go into making that decision?
Definitely all of those, and I mean, I got the fight offer when I was walking out of the cage from the previous fight in Abu Dhabi. My manager ran up to me and he's like, you want to get that Brian Kelleher fight in 3 weeks?" And
Jason
Kelleher
House
and I
runs
had
up to you
been,
and asks you that?
yeah, like right after he's like, because I had just called him out on the mic, and so he's like, "Hey, you just called him out." The UFC saying if you want to run that one, because we had been matched up so many times that and the fight had fallen
Wow.
off. So uh,
Wow.
yeah, it kind of happened super quick.
Like you're not joking. Like literally, you fucked this dude up. You're coming out of the ring. You still got people's blood and spit on you, and you're walking back to backstage, and he says that to you. You want that fight?
Yeah,
And what'd you
yeah,
say?
and um, I was like, I just gotta see how like my body is because like I had a couple things, and then I think we got back to the hotel and he got a couple beers in me, and then I was just like, yeah, let's do it, 3 weeks, and then
Shit.
that's kind of how it happened.
Crazy. Crazy, crazy. What was it like being on that card? Was that a unique experience because that was such a huge fight?
Yeah, I think I was supposed to be on the prelims, and then Bobby Green had some medical issues, and so I got bumped to Brian and I got bumped to the pay-per-view portion of the card, and that it just seemed like it worked out great. It seemed like, it was, took the fight on like, shorter notice and got the bump and got more eyes on the fight, and it was cool. It was cool. I've been on pay-per-view a couple times now, so I think it's always better, and you get more viewers when you get that slot.
Yeah, you definitely are popping up into people. Yeah, I totally agree. The numbers must be. I'm guessing the numbers must be so different. I mean, I watch the early prelims and the prelims and the fight, and then if I don't get to see them, I go back and watch them. I sit on an assault bike and watch them. But I think most people just get the pay-per-view, and I think that's like the
Yeah,
only way
seems like it.
to yeah. I think that's the only way. I mean, it's
Unless you're a diehard.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, you see this fight that you're fighting against Jack Shore. This could be like, if people just knew who you two were, this could be a fucking massive pay-per-view event. They just don't know. But this is a gnarly fight. This is a huge fight. But since you know what I mean? I mean, like, this could be in if you guys didn't meet up here in 2 years, or a year, this could be the championship fight, and it could be fucking sell 1 million pay-per-views. It's just nuts. I wonder if they think about that when they make the fights.
Yeah, I mean, they have so much going into it for sure. I mean, and I feel like they do a pretty good job at it. Dana and Mick and Sean Shelby do a great job on the matchups, but I mean, hopefully after this Jack Shore fight, because I'm actually going back in the rankings a little bit. He's ranked 14, I'm ranked 12, so hopefully with the win over him, I can get someone in the top 10 and start making the climb more towards like number one contender fight or something,
Yeah, can I see, Caleb? Can you pull up the rankings? Like, if I'm them, I don't know. Who would you? Are you glad you're fighting him? Who would you have liked to have fought?
I would have liked to have fought Frankie Edgar. I had called for that fight. I would have liked a rematch with Marab, since I was his last loss and he's ranked number 6. Or the Sean O'Malley fight would have been great because there's been talks about that for a while. But Jack Shore's, that's a tough fight, 16-0, and I've never been one to like pick and choose the fights. The UFC calls me for a fight and I'm down.
Yeah, I think that I don't think O'Malley's. I think it would be a mistake for them to have you fight O'Malley. I would just like let that one keep building. I would have let this Jack Shore keep building. And you're right. I would have Frankie Edgar or Marab would have been awesome. And then later on meet Jack Shore towards the top. Why? Is Frankie Edgar even fighting?
He's been out for a little bit now since that knockout, I think, right?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen him fight in forever. For some reason, I thought he even moved to like the PFL or some shit. I thought he.
Oh dang! No, I didn't hear that for sure.
Yeah, it's a and I don't think Sean O'Malley should even be ranked higher than you. I don't think he's fought the kind of people you fought either. Well, he fought one and he lost. Than me?
Where's he at?
Is this the UFC rankings? Maybe this isn't the UFC rankings. Is this UFC or just like a total bantamweight? Okay. This might not even be the UFC rankings.
There's a few different rankings out there, but on the last time I looked on the UFC rankings, I was ranked one slot ahead of it. But what ranked opponent did he beat?
Who? Sean?
I don't think he beat.
No. I never know. I never know anyone of the. I've never heard of anyone who he's fought except for the guy who beat him, Cheeto. Yeah. Man, what was Cheeto's last fight? He was savage.
Who was that? Was against the Rob Font.
Oh yeah, that was nuts.
That was a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. How was the experience with Contender Series?
It was great. I mean, I had a great time doing it. I always like picture myself walking through those doors that that the Ultimate Fighter guys walk through. So just that experience, I don't know, was awesome. But there was a lot of pressure. You get that one chance to like get in there and fight right in front of the bosses. So it's kind of a lot of pressure. But sorry, I get my charger. My phone's about to die.
You're a good dude. Hey, have you ever been kicked in the cup?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, several times. I think I got my opponent that last fight pretty good actually. I drilled him like right off the bat. I felt bad, and I had like a dent in my shin from it. I was like, dang, I know that was a good nut shot too.
Oh wow.
That's on me. That's on me. My bad.
Uh, so so it hurts. The cup doesn't protect shit.
I mean, it definitely protects, but I mean, it still hurts. I'm still getting that pressure. You're still getting that leg coming up or whatever. You know, I got scissor kneed by Alex Soto in Titan FC. He did like a flying scissor knee and kneed me right in the nuts. And yeah, that was probably I dropped down. I took a knee. That never happened to me before, but I took a knee. I was like, whoa, hold on.
Hey, and so it's because like I've never been kicked in the nuts, but you know, like the nuts can be like a really sensitive area. Like something can just touch it like that, and it feels like you're gonna throw up. You know, so it's like that. You're in the ring, and your fucking testicles. You just have that stomach ache, testicle smash feeling, and you're supposed to get up and fight, but you just can't.
Yeah, but you get I think you get up to like 5 minutes, you know, to recover from that. But yeah,
God,
it's not definitely not fun.
yeah, it's horrible. It's like and I can never tell. I just can't imagine being in there and that happening, and then not like I just would want to go home. Okay, I'm done. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But you got to just keep going.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
hell
you,
yeah. It's not stopping us.
do you actually wait till it's better, or are you just like fuck it?
I
You
think
go
sometimes I don't like waiting. Like as long as it's like I'm not like it's not stopping me too much. But like with the pressure I bring and you know I'm trying to like you know exhaust my opponents you know to a certain point. So I'm not trying to give them any free time off. You know.
right. Do you think that you're mostly in better? Like, do you have the mindset that you're in better shape than your opponents?
Yeah, usually I think so. I think so. I don't really. It's not like I'm counting. I mean. I do feel like I train that hard, and I'm always doing extra to make sure that you know my cardio is always good. So I don't know if I think like oh it's definitely going to be better than this, but I know I'm like oh I'm not going to get more tired than him. Usually in my opinion.
When I first started watching fighting, I saw the first Colby Covington fight. That was like the first time I'd ever understood what pressure was. Like I just saw the pressure he put on someone,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't even fucking believe it. Same with Mighty Mouse. I would see him do that in the early days. The pressure was nuts. In your weight class, it's for real, right? Like both guys, it seems like at least everything under 155 and under the pressure is it's just relentless. 25 minutes of relentless pressure.
Yeah, that's how it seems. I feel like, especially in my weight class, everybody is like strong and fast and has good cardio and they're explosive from these positions and it's kind of like all of it, you know. And you don't see a lot of guys getting too gassed out like in some of the other weight classes, you know. Like you could tell that they get tired, but they still have like more of that explosive pop in their strikes and in their grappling throughout the rounds.
Are you familiar with this term pain cave? Do they use that
With what? Sorry, you broke out a little
the
bit.
term pain cave? Are you familiar with that term, the pain cave?
No, I've never
No.
heard
So
that.
so
Pain
so
cave.
yeah, the pain cave. It's like when you push, like if you get on one of those assault bikes and you just push yourself
Uh-huh.
so hard that like you're starting to feel like you're going to throw up. It's a CrossFit. I think it's a CrossFit term. At least that's where I hear it the most. It's just a really really dark spot cardio wise. Like shit starts getting, and then when you're done, you don't feel good for like 30 or 40 minutes. You don't feel like yourself. You feel like maybe you'd hurt yourself on accident. It's bad.
Oh yeah, I know what
And
you're talking about now.
yeah, yeah, right. You're right. Being a wrestler, yeah. So so you've gone there. Like something's not right. Like you're like taking inventory. Like maybe you have the flu or something. You pushed yourself into this weird spot, and it goes away usually like in 30 minutes or an hour. How often do you go there in your training? Is that do you go to some pretty dark places?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I get to that feeling. It could be in a conditioning workout. It could be in a grappling workout. It could be in sparring settings. But it seems like whenever there's um, like a lot of like a lot of conditioning, like Shark Tanks and stuff like that. I feel like I can get there.
Like your head, even like your head will start tingling or your ears will close up.
Like yeah, it definitely feels like it, especially with my strength coach Jess Moore over at Champ Camp. Man, he's been working with me for about 5 years now, and he's definitely taken me to that spot a couple times. But I think we do a good job of not overdoing it, but like doing that enough to where we're peaking at the right times.
Yeah. What is the nastiest thing that they have you do there? Like if you see, like, do you know what a Versa climber is?
Damn, I don't know if it's our connection or what right now, but
Do you know
yeah, you sound
what
like a little bit like a robot, like I was earlier. Oh, there you go.
what's the nastiest machine you guys use over there? What's like, do you see like, you're like, oh shit, we're gonna do this today? Is it like the Versa climber or the bike or the rower? Is there something like you're like, oh, this thing's gonna kick my ass? Did you hear any of that?
Dang, sorry, man.
No, it's
You're
okay.
going
It's
in and
okay.
out
It's
again.
okay. Do you know what a Versa climber is? A Versa climber? It's like this machine, you stand in it and you go like this. Do you know that machine? The Versa climber? I'm still breaking up like a robot. Oh, good. You're going to show him, Caleb? Perfect.
Okay.
Do you know what that
Okay.
machine is right
All
there?
right. Let me see it.
Can you see it? It's called a Versa climber. Do you guys use that?
Oh yeah. Over at they have one. I got one at the gym, and they use them over at the PI. Those things are mean.
Yeah, that thing's
Yeah.
horrible. I didn't realize it was so expensive.
Uh,
$5,200. Hey, click on that one,
keep
Caleb.
that.
I want that. Bill Henniger, will you send that to me? Jeez Louise. Well, I'm so excited for your fight, Ricky. Thank you for your time. I've had you for an hour and 16 minutes. You the man.
Yeah, heck yeah. Thanks for having me on, man. It was great to talk to you. Great to finally meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you too. I'll definitely be watching, and if there's anything I can ever do for you, let me know.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
dude. Yep. Have a good day.
Yep. You
Bye
too.
bye. And we're off like a prom dress. Oh, you switched locations.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi was shitty at the coffee shop.
I don't know. I couldn't find my groove today. We didn't get one story. Good. Did we get any good stories? Did we get anything like, yeah, my dad used to beat me and that's why I fight?
Definitely not one of those. But that story about him coming in doing like a 3-week notice fight right after, that's pretty wild.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm
I
glad
don't think
something
very
stuck
many
with you.
people would do that.
It's fucking nuts. I don't think as a fan either I realize the demand it puts on the guys.
Oh, it's crazy. Like you if he had to travel like that, then he's basically recovering for 2 of the weeks, gets like a week of training, and then has to go back to like start cutting and getting back into the like fight weight again, especially if he was fighting at 135. That's crazy.
Oh, right. I didn't even think about the weight cut again. Damn.
Because if he's gonna go out and start drinking, he probably already gained 20 pounds just from when he was after he did his first weight cut.
I'm looking at that thread we're on. It's so funny.
It's crazy.
That the thread from
The weekend
from Syndicate. Yeah, it's so funny. Some of the comments on there are so fucking funny.
I woke up this morning with like 50 notifications. I was like, holy shit, somebody's pissed.
I need to contact Travis Bellinghausen. I wonder if I had. Do you have his number? That's the guy that makes the shirts for Hiller. Oh, that's the guy that makes the shirts for Hiller.
Yeah, I DM with him all the time.
Oh, will you ask him for his phone number?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did I send you an image of that new shirt I want to make?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
That would be pretty dope. I like that.
Yeah, that would be fucking nuts.
Oh, you know what? I do have his number.
Okay, great. Maybe he's listening and he was on here. I know. We lost him. I don't know. What news am I supposed to share today? Man, I do think there's going to be a lot of crazy news coming down the pipeline. I think a lot of people think that they know what the crazy news is, but I don't think. Travis Bellinghausen, you are being summoned to aisle 6. We have a cleanup. A child has peed on aisle 6. Did you ever work at a store like that? I used to work at
the grocery store.
I worked at mine was like a pharmacy, like a CVS. It was called Drug Barn. It was like part Costco, part like, Longs or CVS. Did you ever work one of those?
No, I didn't. I used to teach children swim lessons, and there was a lot of accidents in and around the pool.
We would do the most fucked up shit. Like I would wonder what would happen like if you mixed bleach like with liquid Drano and WD-40, and like I would wonder what would happen, and I'd put the boxes next to each other and then take a box cutter and cut them and let them slowly drip out on the aisle next to each other, and then there'd be a fucking cloud of gas that would start forming that could probably it's probably like chemical warfare, and the manager would have to clear the store. The whole store would get cleared. I mean, I was 16. I didn't even think. I was just
God.
And I wouldn't even think like I was doing something wrong. You know what I mean? I was just a rock. Yeah, just experimenting. I wonder what happens if I slice open this Clorox Beach box right next to this liquid Drano, right next to like some other fucking product, and then the chemicals would be pouring out on the floor together, and then I'd be like, oh shit, and it'd be like fucking a hole burning in the floor, and yeah, that's what it was called. It was called Drug Barn. It was called Drug Barn. It was before I'd ever even seen a Costco, and like we sold shit in bulk. It was a trip.
Is that like where like all the local restaurants would pick up all their supplies and stuff?
No, it was still just fucking, it was still no. Well, maybe shit, I don't know. But man, you could do some fucking funny shit when you have access to so much stuff. They said one time that like 5% of the inventory was missing, and I knew it was from all the kids who worked there. I like
it's only 5%.
There were these 3 guys who worked there, and they were like fucking baseball card fanatics, dude. The craziest. They were so into fucking baseball. So they would have their friends come in and fill a whole shopping cart with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of boxes of baseball cards, and then like only charge them like $1 and just shit like that.
Did you guys have like the mechanical registers, or
yes, you typed in everything by
like
$2.95, $1.52. Yeah, it was dope, and it made all sorts of cool noises. We didn't sell drug. No, we didn't sell. It was just called Drug Barn. I know it's a weird name, right? Drug Barn. Man, it was fucking crazy. I didn't really steal from there. Like at lunchtime, like if I was hungry, like I would like cut open like a bag of beef jerky on accident while I was like stocking it, and then put it in like the there's like a bin for like damage, and I'd do that.
The clearance.
I think one time I stole a bottle. I was going to Mexico for like a senior trip in high school, and I stole a bottle of like cologne Dracar I don't even know why the fuck I did that.
You smell good for the foreign ladies.
Yeah, it was stupid. But I enjoy. But I also didn't judge the guys who did it. I was like, yeah, we were just young and dumb. Young boys have to be watched. Young boys need a lot of instruction and discipline, or else we just do shit. We don't even think about what you know what I mean? Like someone could just have a dozen eggs and just be like, hey, let's throw these eggs at that car. And we just do it. Like no one's like, oh, that might be my girlfriend's dad's car, or that's not nice. No one's thinking that.
There was always
I never did.
There's always a massive like dirt mound next to like a baseball field. And we would just like, all of us there were just always dirt clods, and we just throw them at each other. And then some of us would use it as a ramp. And then we just ramp off the dirt thing. And then everybody would like throw dirt clods at you.
You mean like while you were on your bike, you would ride it on your bike?
Yeah, you ride your bike over the hill, and then other people, like your friends, would just be throwing dirt clods at you the whole time.
Horrible idea, but no one's like, "Hey, you might get hit in the head and fucking die." No one says
wearing
that.
Helmets, no helmets whatsoever.
Same with BB guns. Like we would start getting into BB gun wars, and like no one's like, "Hey guys, this is a bad idea," and then someone's fucking shot, and a fucking BB's lodged in their hand, and they're screaming.
Oh man, yeah. There was a dude that I went to college with. He had like part of his retina was missing because a BB got lodged in his eye. Like it was complete. Like you could see, like it was just a perfect circular cutout next to his eye. It's crazy.
Did his eye still work?
Yeah.
There was a kid in high school. He's in the grade younger than me, and I remember the boys were throwing the tops to like Pringles cans or tennis ball cans or something. For some reason, they had a bunch of tops, those steel tops to cans, and they were flinging them at each other. And fucking one dude fucking got hit in the eye and fucking sliced his eye, fucking lost sight in his eye. I was like,
Oh,
but
shit.
no one's ever thinking of that shit.
Yeah, right. It's like, this is just fun.
All right, tomorrow I think we have Annie Thor's daughter on.
I think so.
Let me see. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have Annie Thor's daughter on. Then on Thursday, we have David Lucas on from Kill Tony. And Friday, we have Athena Perez. Oh, here's something you guys should know. I'm having Athena Perez on, and she has a book. If you want to get ahead of the game, we're going to talk about this book. Are you going to pull it up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
And it's an audiobook also. I highly recommend everyone get this book, start listening to it. It's a fabulous story. Athena has a seminar that she's testing in beta right now. There's a link on all of the Sevon podcast newsletters at the bottom. I forget what the seminar is called, but it's basically a seminar on how to work with large-bodied people, lifting the weight. Yeah. This is a fucking remarkable human being, Athena Perez. She has so many, she's super talented, so many fascinating qualities. She's extremely pleasant. She's a woman of the highest integrity. I've been friends with her a long time. And we've hit it off. And so I'm really stoked. This book's been out for a while. I bought the paperback and then never read it, and then got the audiobook, and I'm going through it, and she reads it. She also has an extremely beautiful voice. So she will be on Friday. We'll be talking about her journey in the book, but we'll also be talking about her new seminar. And I'm excited. The seminars, I think the seminars, not only if you are a large-bodied person and you want to train, there's tips for you in there, but it also teaches you how to work with larger people, or people who are just in really, really probably bad shape. And kind of like the L1, like a lot of people think it's for coaching, but it's not just for coaching. It's for coaching yourself. Everyone should take that also. Oh, here it is. Okay. Athena Perez builds a morning chalk up article from April 10th, 2022. Athena Perez builds course aimed at educating coaches about working with large bodied athletes. And she's kind of my mentor in check sometimes, because you guys know that I can kind of go off on large body people, start calling them fat, and just fucking lose my mind. So having her in my circle to fucking keep me in check is important. And I respect her humility and her ego to be able to deal with my fucking lack of humility and monster ego. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. I will be having Scott Panchek on in a couple hours to talk about the rope climb incident. No, I'm joking. Wouldn't you guys like that? All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. I said that in our thread joking, and no one picked up on it. That was more just to kind of irritate Mr. Friend a little bit. I thought maybe that would get under his skin a little bit. All right, guys. One more final thing. I don't know what we're going to do this weekend in regards to, I started the show off talking about this, what we're going to do in regards to the semifinals this weekend. At worst, half the shows will have to be manned without me. And so they'll be, those are the ones you probably want to watch, because there won't be any cursing or dirty jokes in them. But we will be doing something. I just don't know what. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Caleb, thanks for checking in. We'll see you guys tomorrow.